That news on the opioid overdose front in Crosse County. As of today, there have been 50 overdose deaths. Last year, the total was 39. And we're not alone in this. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, over 75% of 107,000 drug overdose deaths in the United States involved an opioid. News 19's Heather Armstrong met with an expert in the field to discuss what he thinks needs to be done to keep this issue from getting any worse. Heather?
Well, Dustin, the hospitals here are being inundated with overdoses. Dozens of staff, resources, and Narcan are needed to help someone avoid an overdose. And sometimes Narcan doesn't even work because of all the chemicals in street-made drugs. Opioids are a class of drugs that include heroin, fentanyl, and some pain relievers such as oxycodone, Vicodin, codeine, and morphine. Over the years, there's been a major crackdown on the issuing of prescription opioid pain medicines because the misuse of these drugs. Dr. Christopher Eberlein says while that's a good thing, drug use is still on the rise. And now most of the drugs being used are deadly illegal street drugs like fentanyl.
We were hoping that that pipeline that was leading addiction would eventually, as we turn that off, but I think we had so many people and it became kind of almost a cultural thing now. All of that is a huge burden on our system, on our community, not just the healthcare system, but the community itself. So this is truly costing us as a society billions of dollars a year.
So Dr. Eberlein was a part of the Heroin Task Force, the first group working to effect change more than a decade ago. Now he's a part of the Alliance to Heal, a group that works together to find solutions to drug addiction by looking at the entire problem. Now, this is a tough issue, and I imagine a lot of people want to help, right? So that's what you're thinking, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're thinking.
Well, because I kept saying, what do you want us to do? Yeah. We see these stories every night on the news. So he says, we encourage you to write your local legislators and ask for more funding for resources to help those struggling with addiction and mental health, definitely. Dustin?
All right, thank you, Heather. And coming up tonight at 10, we'll hear from an addiction specialist working in Gunderson's 2 drug recovery homes as to what she thinks there is to be done to help. And if you're struggling with addiction, Great Rivers 211 is a great resource. It's free to anyone needing help by simply dialing 211.